Welcome back, agents. We are here again showing you and bringing you some of the latest coming from our friends over at the Sandbox. And we have a special guest today that's going to join us on stream that is going to show us around some of the really cool features of the Sandbox that you may not know about. Please help me welcome to the channel, Miss Pandapops. What's going on?
Hey, I'm doing good, thank you. As you said, I'm Pandapops, Vox Edit Community Manager for the Sandbox. Create tutorials and just general crypto content stuff. But yeah, I'm doing good. Excited to be able to talk to people about maybe some misconceptions about Sandbox and just educate people just that little bit more over what you can do.
There you go. It's true. It's true. You know, a creator warlord lady right here. We got her and we're going to do it. So, you know, I wanted to bring my friend Pandapops on the channel here. I'm sure you guys have seen her before on the Around the Metaverse. She's been on multiple times, one of our favorite guests there. And, you know, a question came up in chat the other day when I was talking about the Sandbox, and it was something I wanted to address. And so I thought, hey, why not make a really cool video about this to break it down? And who better to bring on board than Pandapops, who could kind of talk about some of these things and help us shed some light on the situation. And the problem was, Sandbox is a scam. It's all a scam, Stash, all of it. They get you to buy land, and then you can't do anything with it. They lie to you, and it's a scam, and it's a rug pull, Stash. And I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, why does this guy think this? You know, I started thinking these comments, and then he's messaging me, you know, and I'm like, why does this guy think this? So I wanted to get to the bottom of this because I like the Sandbox. I love what they're doing. I think all the stuff they offer is very highly, you know, well done, very professional. It's super polished in comparison to a lot of other games and systems out there. They have things down very well. So I was like, what's the problem here? And so he's basically, this was his problem. And this is something that we're going to talk about today. This is what we're going to focus on. He said, you know, I own land in the Sandbox, but I can't do anything with it, Stash. They lied to me. And then they get you to buy the land, and then you can't do anything. It just sits there, and there's nothing you can do with it. What do you think about that, Panda? Like if someone just comes at you like that, what do you think about? What do you say to them?
Oh, well, I would say there's a couple of things that you can do. Yes, in maybe terms that you think originally, like, okay, I should be able to publish a game or rent it straight away. You got to remember, Sandbox is still in alpha, so there's many features that are to come that aren't out, but there are many features that are out right now. We have land staking, so if you own land, you can stake sand on that land. It's 500 sand per land you have. You can stake that and get yourself some sick APR, honestly, off of that. I think it's at 112%. Let me know any banks that you know that offer those sort of percentages on your investment. And then the other things that you can do is you can download the game maker. You can create a game, and you don't need to own land to create a game. Anybody can do it. You can download the game maker, get that created, upload it to the drafts gallery, and have anybody play that. Now, this will then translate in the future for you being able to publish that game on your land in the future when that is open and available. And we are slowly starting to see this happen. Alpha Season 3, we had a bunch of user-generated content. That's general people who have used the software Game Maker and created an experience and put it through to Sandbox and had it picked up in an alpha season. And this is what they want to continue doing, sort of promoting user-generated content. The other things is we have game jams. These are game competitions where there's a theme. Sometimes it's in relation to an IP, and you take part, you create a game around that IP using the game maker, and you can win sand. Now, I know that doesn't totally translate to having a land, but once again, if you create this game, you have something to go on your land in the future. And yes, later on down the line, we will have land rental. You will be able to obviously publish to your land. This is just slightly further down the line, but there are definitely things that you can do in relation to your land as of now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great, clear explanation. You know, the two biggest things I would say that you can do is, you can get extra sand for staking it, for having land, you know, staking sand as well. If you have land, you get multipliers. Like, there's so many, owning land gives you benefits for sure. But if the focus is, hey man, I bought this land so I could build a sweet ass game on it, and I can't do that. And I think that's where there's that disconnect, is people think they can't do that. And here is the difference, right? Right now in these alpha seasons, they're very curated experiences, right? That they're putting on the map for a limited time that you can play. It's not the map you're seeing that we're playing on, that when you see these alpha seasons, that's not the final, that's not the sandbox map, right? The map that you've bought land on. This is just a little standalone thing that they're putting together for these alpha seasons to test things out. You know, so eventually everyone's land will be on that map. So right now, nobody's stuff is actually on that map. Even the people that you see in the alpha, that's just in like a little, you know, sandbox.
Yeah, it's like a little curated area. They're not actually, because in the future, you will be basically minting your game experience on that map. And with it being on Polygon, it's going to be much cheaper to be able to do that as well. So you'll be able to find, if you need to do game updates or you need to switch it out for any reason, you're going to find it much cheaper to obviously take that game out and add a new one on there as well. But yeah, it's just like a small curated area for experiences to just be in like a test zone, if you will. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, so then, you know, owning land is still going to be beneficial. You say, well, then, you know, I want to build now. You can. Game Maker is a free program that anybody can go and download, and you can start making your game right away. If you own a 1x1, just choose 1x1 when you load the screen up and create your account and get going. Or if you want to play with something really big, you can do that too, which is really fun. And the cool thing about it is a lot of people don't realize this either, is that through that Game Maker download, that program, you can also play other people's experiences, other people's games that they have made. There's some really cool game jam games that are in there, and people that are just enthusiasts that have put, you know, experiences there for you to go play. So that I think a lot of people just don't realize the Game Maker is there, and all the things that you can do with it. So they think, oh, I bought this land, you know, last year, the game still isn't launched, they scammed me, I get nothing. And that's not the case at all here. Now, when you talk, if the only reason you bought land was like maybe for rental functionality, or, you know, to have it on the map, like we'll get there, but everybody's being patient. We're all waiting too. And you know, if you really are, you know, gung ho about building a game, just go build it. Start building something cool now, get ahead of the curve, and maybe submit to one of the game jams, or maybe submit for one of the alpha seasons. You know, there's a lot of good opportunity there. And so I want to see, we're going to have Pandapops. She's going to come over here and we're going to have her load up the Game Maker here. And she's just going to give us a quick little high level of how you kind of get started with that, what that looks like, so we can kind of show you guys a little exposure to that. So maybe we can do that now. Nice. So here we are at the Game Maker. So, you know, she's already logged in. So when you log in, you've already had your account. This is what you're going to see, right? So, you know, just give us a little breakdown of this screen here and what we're seeing, so everyone kind of gets an idea. Okay,
so firstly, you can either click Create New in this corner, or you can just click over here. Both are options. It'll also show you all of the projects you've already started. So these are all projects I've already started. I've got a few that are just test ones if I need to test assets out to make sure that they work. Then we have templates. A lot of these, we've had a whole bunch of new ones added that give you tutorials on how to use the game mechanics. So you can work your way through these tutorials and learn the actual game mechanics, game logic on how to do certain things. I should probably use these a little bit more often. But they've got a whole bunch of different behaviors, counter quests, death quests. They teach you a whole load of little bits and pieces. And then we have the drafts gallery. And this is where you can play those games that Stash was talking about earlier that people have uploaded. Now, some of the best ones, Derek, some of the best ones are when you see Game Jam added to them. We haven't had a Game Jam for a while, so I'm just going to quickly skip a couple. There we go. There's a Game Jam right there, YGA. Can't remember which Game Jam that was, but we've got a couple there. And these generally, because people are competing for prizes, the quality is generally fairly high for those. So you can play a pretty good Star Atlas Game Jam. There was a lot of good ones for that. We also have the settings, so you can choose either full screen, window, or borderless window. Generally, I work in borderless window, so I can tab out. Resolution, and then music and SFX volume.
Always down to 0. I mean, I have to say that, dang, man, sometimes that can be a little bit assaulting,
Any time it updates, it always updates back at the volume, and you just get deafened every time.
And one thing I'll point out there in the drafts gallery, look how many pages of experiences. I mean, there's so many. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And like you said, not all of them are super high quality, but it does give a pretty big picture of like how many people are building and doing this, right? I think
for sure.
Maybe you could load one. Maybe you could load one of your things just to show people what the interface looks like real quick.
Yes. Mainly because I've shown people this one numerous times. I work on this live on stream. I work on it badly, but people have still seen it.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So, if you guys like what you're seeing and you want to learn more about actually creating, voxels, right? We're not even going into Vox Edit, which is a whole other program that Sandbox offers here to make the assets. But Pandapops has a great channel, and definitely go check her out and all of her content doing this stuff. So
it's like stuck at 90%. Please, there we go. Because I've been working on the newer version to test it, so the controls for the new version changed.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah, to be much simpler to use. So we've got a few things on here. So you can bring up all of the assets. So you can have a look at different blocks. You can look at entities, equipment art, if they've been given different things. You can also search. So if you want I don't know if anything's named tower. Yeah, if you need a desert tower placed in there, you can just place it and then click it, and you can move it, position it, you can rotate. But we also have the super handy thing over here where we can change its behaviors. We can take collision off if you don't want there to be any collision, if you want somebody to be able to walk through it. Maybe it's a hidden door that, only somebody playing very badly running into things would realize it's a hidden door.
That's me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I forever
bump around everything.
Yeah, it was there's especially during Alpha Season 3, Lululand had many hidden areas where you literally did have to walk through things that you would think were solid.
Right, yeah.
It's a great way to have hidden bespoke areas. But behaviors, you can change all of this. You can make it into a bird behavior, so it'll start flying around, which for a tower, not going to be very optimal, but maybe for some sort of crazy game where everything's flying in the air, that could be kind of a cool thing to add. So there's all of these different behaviors you can add on there. We've also got components, so you can make anything a collectible. You can pretty much make anything climbable. So you've got all these things that you can use, and there's no code required. So I'm not going to say it's easy to do, but it's it's much easier to onboard people using these tools than you would if you needed to learn to code. So this is no code required. It's built on Unity with our game maker on top of that. So we're Unity based, but with our stuff built on top of that. Exactly. And a few things I can show here. So you'll see on this door, there's some bits that are hidden. So these are meant to be hidden, and I can show how this works. So I wanted it to be that I want to go through this door to go to a different area. So it'll ask, do I want to go in? And I will go in, and I'm in this hidden room with some skeletons.
They're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. Get them, deliver the book. Oh, now you're dead.
There we go. I want to leave.
Let me get out of here.
Yeah. And then I leave, and I've got a few doors that act this way. So I've got one here because I picked up the key. Originally, if I tried to go through this without picking up the key in the other room, I wouldn't be able to go in here.
Yeah. Very cool, man. This is a great intro, I think, to the sandbox, what's going on with land, with the game maker, which I think is a big thing. And so, this is great. Just from the little bit of demonstration you've given us, I think people can really get a good idea of how we can go about, utilizing our land for better, for worse, right? But what you want to do with land, anyways, this is the bulk of it, right? This is the bulk of it. So, hey, Pandapops, thanks so much for joining us and showing us around.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
Cool. Well, hey, Pandapops, I really appreciate you being here. Hopefully people, can take this information back to heart. They can understand, where land is at right now, what you can still do out there, even though, we're not putting land on the main sandbox map at this point yet. Nobody's getting that opportunity. And I don't feel that, owning land means, because you can't do those things that you're going to be, like it's a scam. This is a pretty large undertaking. I think Sandbox is actually iterating over it pretty nicely over time, but there's so much you can do to get your land ready for whatever it is that you want it to be once this main map goes live with everybody's stuff. So thanks so much for joining us and showing us around the Game Maker and talking a little bit about some of these problems I think a lot of people out there probably face.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's great. And I'm always happy to impart knowledge onto people where they may have not realized certain things.
Yeah. And that's what we're here for. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for today. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.